Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Tuesday morning, the 12th day of September, 2023. This is the morning briefing coming to you from my home weather office where I do my own morning briefing and then I tell you what's going on before I head into the office and fine tune all the details about the weather for Northern California. As I look out the window from the home office, nothing but blue sky out there. It's going to be a beautiful day. So I'll talk more about Northern California weather as well as give you the latest on Hurricane Lee and where it is heading and the impact that it may be having by the time we get to Saturday. Now, we're going to be talking about it all week. It looks as though it may finally be coming to a crescendo by the time we get to the day on Saturday. All right, let's start with what's happening in Northern California. We have some marine layer into Napa County this morning, as well as into the San Jose area. And that, as well as an onshore breeze, is going to make for a cooler day. Yesterday, much of the valley was in that 93 to 95 range. Downtown Sacramento hit 96. Today it will be 4 or 5 degrees cooler. A perfect day. The average high for this time of year is now 90 in Sacramento, and that's about where we're going to top out. Also, call your attention to what's going on to the north. A lot of smoke here. We have fog and we have the smoke. We got to keep an eye on the smoke coming off the fires up here because we're just a north breeze away from getting that smoke back down into our area. And after the cooler, wetter weather we had a little while ago that really tamped these fires down, they are becoming much more active once again. Part of that is the fire operations that are going on. In other words, they're letting some areas burn. But if and when we get a north wind, we could have to deal with some air quality issues again. But that's one thing we'll have to keep an eye on. And then another thing is we still have some of this moisture coming up from the south, and that may lead to a chance of some showers and thunderstorms in parts of the Sierra today. So let me show you the HRRR here. And I'm not expecting we'll see much. Yesterday we saw some pretty good activity. Today, this is this evening. Maybe a shower or two, maybe down around Bishop or up toward Mono Lake. I thought it was going to be a bit more extensive. Well, it tries to be right there. And then again during the day on Wednesday, we see the same thing, maybe from areas like Topaz Lake and Bodie all the way down once again toward Bishop. So if you're going to be in Mono County, driving down 395, one of my favorite places to go, you will find the occasional shower or thunderstorm, but I don't think we're going to find anything too significant. But it's also one of those things that when you're in the valley, you may look toward the Sierra and see some of the thunderheads going on. And that's about the most active thing we'll have going on in Northern California for a while. All right, let's get to the hurricane. Hurricane Lee. This is the latest from the National Hurricane Center. This is the 11 a.m. Atlantic time update. At this time, the winds are 115, so it's still a Category 3, but it's only moving to the northwest at 6 miles an hour, as you can see right here in this line right here. That's very, very slow movement. They have put up a tropical storm watch for Bermuda, as you can see highlighted right here in yellow. So now it's beginning, during the day today and tomorrow, it's beginning its turn to the north. It looks like it's going to stay a major hurricane, in other words, not change any strength, up until tomorrow morning. Then it will start to decrease down to a Category 2, Category 1 by the time we get to Friday morning. And this is when its forward speed really increases from Friday to Saturday, and then Saturday into early Sunday. This white S up here, that means it's a post-tropical storm. So it will not be a hurricane most likely when it does make landfall. Now, once again, you'll notice that the cone does take in Cape Cod, most of the state of Maine, meaning that at this time, 8 a.m. Sunday, we could see something as far to the west as Portland or something as far east as the eastern tip of Nova Scotia. But the most likely scenario is right up the middle here, and that's where most of the models are going. So with that, let me show you this model. This is the GFS, and this is the surface. And this is from the 6C run, and you can see the storm down in here. And as we go through, this is a Thursday afternoon, you'll notice that there's this little line right here. This is a cold front coming off the East Coast. As that cold front goes by, it kind of tries to catch the hurricane. It doesn't quite do it, but what will happen is this interaction with the hurricane and the cold front right here will be enough to start the process of the rapid decreasing of the storm, taking it from a hurricane down to a post-tropical storm, or let's just call it a tropical storm. However, the timing on it isn't quite enough for the cold front to totally sweep this thing up. So as the cold front goes by, there is still the storm itself. And then this is getting into Saturday and into Saturday night and Sunday. And here's the storm. I know the scale isn't that great, but unfortunately, the other sectors just don't do a great job of highlighting this. But if this scenario is true, this is Massachusetts right here. Here's New Hampshire. You would get rain through the eastern half of Maine. And the strongest winds would, however, be into Nova Scotia, and then the storm dissipates as we head into the day on Sunday. And that's it. So yeah, that would be, as I said, kind of coming to a crescendo on Saturday night and Sunday. And this does appear to be the most likely scenario here. Maybe going into the eastern tip of Maine, but more likely impacting Nova Scotia as a tropical storm with heavy winds, rain, and obviously high surf. And then the storm would dissipate. So that, again, looks like the most likely scenario for what is going to be happening with Hurricane Lee. As usual, if you are in Maine, if you're on Cape Cod, pay attention to your local meteorologists as well as your local National Hurricane Center and your local National Weather Service office and the National Hurricane Center, as they'll be issuing any warnings that need be issued. And so, yeah, just stay tuned to them. But it is looking more and more likely that the worst part of the storm is going to be staying east of much of New England. And while it will be windy and probably a little bit wet in some areas, it looks as though the worst of it is going to be staying to the east. It's been a big storm, Category 5 at one point, Category 3 now. But by the time it makes landfall, it won't even be a hurricane. So that's everything I've got for you this morning. It's Tuesday. That means there will be a Facebook live chat tonight at 8 o'clock. If you have any questions about the hurricane or anything else, I'd be happy to talk about that from 8 to 8:30. And otherwise, later on today, I'll be in my suit and tie and back doing news at KCRA at 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.